Minimum requirements in order to become an LDA, you have to have a certain education requirement, meet those, and those are listed out in Business and Professions Code Section 6400. You'll also need to obtain a bond, which you can search for a bond company that issues legal document assistant bonds. The cost will be approximately $250, and it's going to be good for 2 years. Once you have that bond, you'll also need to register with the county, and that's going to be in the principal place where you do business. So if you have your headquarters based in San Francisco, then you're going to want to make sure that you file your bond and submit an application with the County of San Francisco in order to do business there. That's in addition to any business license that you need to register with the city. And if you decide to incorporate and become a corporation, that's in addition to any Secretary of State filings that you need to do. In order to register with the county to become a legal document assistant, you have to first fill out an application. The cost is about $180 to register with the county. That application is going to ask you questions regarding your education background. How is it that you qualify to become an LDA? What's your education? What's your experience? In addition to that, you'll have to provide 2 passport-sized photos. The county clerk is going to create an ID card that has your photo and information regarding your license and your principal place of business and your LDA registration number that you can use as proof that you've been registered with that city. At the time of filing your registration, you would provide the original bond that was sent to you by the bond company, showing that you have met the bond requirements. One way to qualify in terms of education is to have completed a certificate of completion from a paralegal program that is approved by the American Bar Association. The county clerk will ask that you attach a copy of that certificate of completion. Another way to qualify is if you've earned a certificate of completion from a paralegal program that is institutionally accredited, but that is not necessarily approved by the American Bar Association. The county clerk would ask you to attach a copy of that certificate as well. But in addition to the paralegal certificate, the county clerk is also going to want you to provide proof that you have successfully completed a minimum of 24 semester units or the equivalent of 24 semester units in legal specialization courses. They're going to want you to attach a copy of the transcript that shows the number of semester units that you completed in these legal specialization courses. And that's actually how I qualified. I graduated from City College of San Francisco, and I was able to show the transcripts. College or university is another option. So let's say, for example, you don't have a paralegal certificate. However, you do have a bachelor's degree in a certain field. In addition to having a college degree, you had to have had completed at least 1 year of law-related experience working under the supervision of a licensed attorney, and that attorney is willing to write an original signed statement on the attorney's letterhead stating that they have been supervising your work, what the scope of that work is, and the dates of your experience. Or if you don't have an attorney that can sign a declaration for you, but you do have a college or university degree, then you can also show that you have at least 1 year of experience providing self-help service prior to January 1st, 1999. There are similar requirements for people who have a high school degree or GED, which could also qualify as meeting the education requirements. This is how I qualified. I graduated from a City College of San Francisco back in 2003. At that time, the school was not American Bar Association accredited, um, but it is now. So here's a copy of my certificate that I provided, and also a copy of the school transcript that I provided. On the school transcript, I checked off the different legal specialization courses that I took, such as commercial law, law office management and procedures, investigative discovery, trial prep, and then I tallied up all of the credits. In order to qualify under this education requirement, I had to show that I met at least 24 units. Me, being the overachiever that I am, I actually exceeded the minimum by having actually completed 27 units total. Moving on to the application, you must disclose if you have been held liable and a final judgment has been entered against you in a civil action that alleged fraud, use of an untrue or misleading representation, or use of unfair, unlawful, or deceptive business practices, among other things. Some of these disclosures might disqualify people from becoming a legal document assistant. For example, if there's been a civil judgment against you, a criminal conviction, if your registration has been revoked previously, if you have been disbarred or have had a suspension, those are different reasons why you might be disqualified. If you have questions or concerns, you can always reach out to an attorney and get some advice regarding what your options are in these situations if you have some negative criminal background history. So let's say that you're a registered and bonded LDA now. You went to register your application, you paid for your bond, you filled out the application, you brought your passport photos to the county clerk, you were issued a LDA ID card showing your registration. Next, you can focus on running your business. You'll have to talk about what services are you going to be offering. Consider, will your services be offered virtually or will they be in-person services? You'll also want to know what's the best way to gain knowledge in the field that you plan to offer services in. You'll need to consider what business essentials such as software and programs you'll need to run your business successfully. And finally, how you're going to do your marketing. We'll talk about that in a separate video.